Welcome everyone to the Play Pouch podcast. This is our end of year series where we're going to be discussing today will be the top 5 games of 2025. In a couple of days afterwards, it's going to be the worst games of 2025. And finally, it's going to be the most anticipated games for next year. Now, this year will be going out on Christmas Day. So if it's Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, I hope you guys had a happy Christmas. I hope my guests have a happy Christmas. Hope you got some nice games. If not, there's a great sale on Microsoft Store to get yourself some. But today I'm joined with my two co-hosts, Alan, the master of horror himself.
How you doing?
Not bad. Hopefully by the time this goes out, Alan, you are enjoying your Christmas, my friend. And how about you? I'm also joined by Colm as well. How are you, Colm, sir?
Not bad, mate. I hope you're well.
Future me, I'm sure will be well, hopefully. Right. Okay, so in starting, okay, now 2025 was not the best game in year of all time. That's putting it mildly. And I think it's fair to say that we did struggle to compile our lists. And had this been just of games that had come out in 2025, we wouldn't have 5 games each. So we had to bend it ever so slightly so that it was the 5 games that we played for the first time in 2025. So, guys, you are going to see our 5 lists. Some are games that came out this year. Some are ones that we all play for the first time. That should be a bit of indictment of the caliber of games that came out, but it is what it is. So, right, if everybody is ready, we're going to count down from 5 to 1. And we're going to chat about the games as we go. There's going to be some overlap because I know for sure that some of us have got the same game at different numbers. So, firstly, number 5. Here we go. Right. So, 2 of us have agreed on the same game, and I myself have put a different one in. So we'll start at the top, and I guess on this one, you can both talk about it. I'll check in as well, but you've both put the same game, which is Borderlands 4 for both Colm and Alan. So, gents, why is it a number 5?
It's one of those games that was actually very enjoyable. I thought, yes, it had problems, and what game in 2025 didn't have problems, but this was like classic Borderlands stuff.
Yes, it was more of the same. Yeah, it did. It had some launch issues, and maybe that's why it's at number 5 for you guys. I've got it a bit higher, but I think that stopped it maybe from being number 1 or 2 for me. Was that it did not launch in the best way. Colm, what about you? I mean, you've got it the same as Alan, so you obviously enjoyed it, and it's obviously a game that did come out this year, so we were not spoiled for choice.
No, yeah. I mean, I actually really enjoyed this game, playing through it. The only reason why it's so low on my list is when we've spoken about it before, I've mentioned this, the lack of end-game content.
Yeah.
If there were a little bit more there, this would be a lot higher in my list than what it is. It's just, I've got to a point where I don't need to do anything on the game anymore because there's just nothing for me to do now. So that's why it's there.
Yeah, I do remember more or less chatting to you just as you were kind of just finishing off the Vault Hunter level 5 or whatever it was. And I remember you kind of saying to me, "Yeah, I've got nothing else to do, mate. I go around, I murder everything." It's like, because you did get to that point after we discussed previously that you did get to that power level that I think we're all at, where it's just like there's not really that much of a challenge. Even the hardest modes is not that hard. Okay, they take a bit more. They take a couple of seconds longer to put down, and they do more damage to you, but they still go down pretty fast, even at the hardest modes. So, and a lot of the player base has dropped off as well. So we'll have to see next year if they endeavor to try and win back the player base. I know that there is DLC coming early next year, so we'll have to see on that. Okay, so you guys have both put Borderlands 4, a game that probably no one would have expected to see on this list. Is Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster. The short version is that this was right at the start of the year, so this is like January. So I played through Assassin's Creed Rogue remastered right at the end of last year.
Great game.
A very good game. The sequel to kind of Black Flag, and then it dawned on me that I've kind of played most of them from that era, but the one piece of the story that was missing in between like Unity and Black Flag was Assassin's Creed 3. I played it many, many years ago, and I did not like it. I didn't particularly like the setting. I thought the main character was dull, and I think the game took way too long to get into because you end up playing as the Templar, the villain of the game. You spend the first considerably quite a long time. You spend the first 4 hours or so as the baddie character.
Haytham Kenway.
That's right. Yeah. So Edward Kenway's kid. So that's a direct carry on from Black Flag. So I didn't get into it. But as I said, I thought to myself, I know all the other parts of the story. The only part of the story that's missing for me is Assassin's Creed 3. And then I saw that it was now 60 frames per second on the Xbox X. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me enjoy an updated version. And to be honest, and Alan, I know in particular, you'll relate to this. I thought to myself, I can also have a little bit of taste of the old combat, which I know isn't around anymore. So I thought, okay, let's have a little bit of a taste. And even though Alan will agree with this, I know as well, Assassin's Creed 3, I think, is the first game they started mucking with stuff.
That's very true. The combat was very simplified when it got to Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah,
and even more so.
Yeah, and it started to degrade from there. So that's why it's at number 5, is because I enjoyed myself in the game, even though it is a limited game. But again, it's another indictment of the quality of the games this year that this gets number 5, because probably in a lot of other years it wouldn't be anywhere near the top 5. But it sneaks in as my number 5, even though of course it's a much older game. But I played it right in January, so it just about qualified. Right. Before I continue, I did forget to say at the start, remember to like, subscribe, and obey. Sorry, no, the third part is Borderlands 3. I'm kind of ripping off Borderlands 3, but do the first 2, subscribe and like, guys.
Yeah.
You can obey if you want. I mean, if you really want to. Right, so let's head to number 4 in the list. Right, so interesting. Colm has chosen Hades 2. Very, very jealous, Colm, because I can't play that because I want to play it on Xbox. We'll get to that. Alan, a game that he has streamed on the channel, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, which was really annoying to put into this screen, Alan, because it's so bloody long. Cheers for that.
You've abbreviated it.
Yeah, I should have. Really. I think I do later on, actually. But at this point, I was just like, God, this is such a long title. And then I've chosen Monster Hunter World. So we'll start from the top. Hades 2. Can't wait to play it next year. That's my.
Yeah, I mean, I've played Hades 1. I actually really enjoyed that. Yeah, it's a fantastic game. The whole concept of it is amazing. So, like, I've never played a game so much where it's like I'm wanting to beat it first time, and you just can't because it's not designed to.
No, you can't. No.
And it's exactly the same with obviously what I've done with Hades 2. It's beautifully made. And I'm not a massive fan of these roguelike kind of games, but Hades 2, my God, wait until you play it. You'll understand. It's hard to describe how actually good it is. Like, they took everything good from the first game and just improved it.
And you're right. You had to play it through multiple times. But the thing is, Colm, is that you wanted to play it through multiple times because every time you played, you'd get a bit further on. And the progression system was good. You'd unlock new weapons, new abilities, and there was elements of randomness, so that every run was slightly different. You'd pick up different weapons and stuff like that. You'd pick up different abilities, and then you'd have to build your character each time you did a run. So the replay factor is off the charts. And if they haven't touched that stuff, I'm all over it, bro.
No, they really haven't. And like I said, like when you die in games, like we're all kind of in. We can all say this honestly. You get frustrated when you die in games. But with this game, it's done a fantastic way of making it so like you're not frustrated. It's like, right, I'm going to come back now and watch. I'm more powerful than what I was. Now it's my turn to wipe the floor with you. It's great.
Alan, have you? I remember you trying I remember talking to you about the first one a couple of years ago when it came on Xbox Game Pass. That's when I was all over it, and I thought it was amazing. But did you actually get into it, or did you not? The first one.
I did spend a good few hours on it. I did enjoy it. classic me is something else comes along that I just get into that instead. So obviously Hades got pushed to the wayside, but I did enjoy it for what it was.
I think it's actually back on Game Pass now.
In that case, I'm going to jump back on it then.
Yeah, Hades 1 is back on Game Pass.
Yeah, I thought it came back on. Yeah, I might have to give it a go myself again. But no, like I say, next year, I won't spoil it, but next year I'm going to be all over that game, mate. Whenever it comes on Xbox, I think they said like March or something. So I'm going to be all over that, bruv. Alan, an old game.
Yes, really? It is an old game. Yeah, not out this year at all.
Nope. But that was part of the conditions we put, that as long as it was the first time, then it would qualify. So you streamed this. So I watched you stream it. It looks really funny. Do you have to be a South Park fan to get that much out of it? Because there's a lot of gags there that obviously I got because I'm a fan of it. But can anyone pick up and play, or is it for South Park fans only?
Yeah, I think anyone can pick up and play it, as long as you got a good sense of humor. I think it should appeal to anybody. I mean, if you're a fan of South Park, it helps, most definitely. But I've only got a lot of fun with this. I'm going to get back to streaming this very soon. It's looking like maybe next month. That's when I'm going to get back to it once this Christmas business is all over. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. The humor in this game is off the chain. Off the chain. You saw the sequence I was running with the two priests in the back of the church, and they're putting rosemary beads out of their asses and using them against me. That's South Park for you. That is the kind of messed up stuff you got to put up with in this game. And as you can see on the screen,
they don't hold back, do they?
No, and they shouldn't do. Parker and Stone are well renowned for pushing the envelope and pushing buttons on a lot of things, and nothing is out of bounds for them. And the fact that it's in the game is brilliant.
The thing is, Al, is that it's really actually not your kind of game. It's more of a game me and Colm would be into, because it's a turn-based. It's a turn-based RPG.
Yeah. You know exactly how I feel about turn-based games.
I know they're not your favorites.
No, I don't hate them. They're just not my preferred gameplay choice.
That you could look past that because of
but because it's South Park,
the IP,
and because there's a. Do I say there's much of a story to this? No, there's not really much of a story going through it, but there is enough humor in the game. There is enough member berries in there, because there's some member berries actually in the game. Yeah. So as long as you've seen episodes of South Park, you can pick up on the characters like Eric, Stan, Kenny, and Kyle, and obviously all the supporting cast like Mr. Garrison and Mr. Mackey and Stan's dad, Randy. You can pick up this game and really thoroughly enjoy it, and I actually can't wait to get back to it.
The thing is, as well, guys, is that if you are a South Park fan, this is dirt cheap right now. I think Microsoft have got a sale right now for it, for both games, that and the first game, Stick of Truth, for like £8.
If you haven't got it, get it.
I've played both of them.
What do you think, then, Com?
I really enjoy them. They're so funny.
Turn-based RPGs. Who would have thought that you'd get that in a South Park game? Probably.
No, they are so funny. Like you said, it's lack of story, but it makes up for it for the typical South Park humor.
Yeah,
it's like being in an episode, isn't it? I mean, it looks like the cartoon.
The way I see it is, you get little quests from different characters in South Park. And you can treat each quest as its own little mini episode. Yeah. Of South Park.
Yeah. No, it's I'm looking forward to you finishing it off. I myself will probably play it at some point, and the first game as well. I'll add it to my gigantic list of games.
I need to turn the game on the other day. I thought, no, don't do that. You're meant to be streaming this. So I'd stop.
I mean, you could play it offline as well, I guess, but you won't get the.
No, I've got to continue it on stream.
I will say as well, Alan. If the DLC comes on sale, get that, because it's just as good.
Okay.
What's the DLC, Com? I didn't know there was some.
Yeah, there's some DLC. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's like you go to a restaurant and it's like a vampire the gothic vampires that are in
Has
it.
it got the goth kids in it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
it's like
brilliant.
you team up with them in it a little bit, fighting these like vampire waiters and all that. And it's just hilarious.
Oh, you sold me.
Yeah, that's Alan sold. That's Alan sold already.
The thing is, right? There's a bus stop on the map,
Yeah,
and it's called DLC.
no shame.
Yeah, as soon as you get to it, and then just tap A, it brings up the
no
DLC list. So there you
go. Okay, so
yeah,
I think I'm the only one who probably, I believe so. I don't think Com you played it, to be fair, but Alan certainly did. And I knew from our Game of the Year awards we did the other day, I knew that this had no chance of making your list, Alan. But I've got it at 4. Even though in our Game of the Year awards we did the other week, I did say it had the worst storyline, because it does. I did say also that it had terrible graphics in performance mode, which it did. But this is a caveat. I don't play Monster Hunter Wilds for its story or because it's a particularly great looking game. It's not why I play it.
True.
I play it for the gameplay loop.
You tell me a Monster Hunter game that's got a good story to it.
There isn't.
Yeah, it's always the same thing, isn't it? There's something changing the elements of the world.
Yeah,
and you got to work out what it is, and it turns out to be an old dragon or something.
Yeah, and and don't get me wrong, the story handicaps you in this game. It is the worst of the bunch when it comes to the story, because at least in the other, in Rise, Alan, and World that me and you have both played, they were short and sweet. They didn't get in the way. This story gets in the way. We both know that it does. And me and you were complaining for how long about following these characters around at slow motion, dude. So, it greatly impacts the flow of the game, and there's no getting around that. But if I analyze it just as a game for the gameplay, I think the mechanics are pretty solid. It's a little easier than I personally would like, but apparently nowadays they have actually fixed a lot of that with the 9-star quests and stuff like that. So I think they have actually improved it. So I will be going back to this at some point, probably early next year, once the latest title update has come through, which I think it might have already just actually gone live. Like any day now, I think it's just gone live. So I will probably go back to it to see the improvements. But as a video game for this year, I must have spent 80 hours, at least 80 hours in it. So if I'm going to spend 80 hours in a game, I must be getting something out of it. So for gameplay wise, I thought it was good. It's just not as good. It is the worst of the 3. It is the worst. It is worse than Rise, and it's worse than Worlds. But it's still a good game in my mind. It just can't hit the levels of those two. Com, obviously, I guess you've got not that much. I guess you can't say that much about it. Did you even boot it up or anything? Did you even buy it?
I didn't buy it, no. But they gave a couple of days, wasn't it, where it was like
3 days
beta or something like, I don't know. And I played it then, and I'm not a massive Monster Hunter fan. I think it's a lot more enjoyable when you're playing with friends than on your solo by yourself. And see, Monster Hunter, is it Worlds the last one?
Rise technically was the last one, but Rise was a port from the Switch. So
Worlds then, Monster Hunter Worlds is the last one that I actually put some serious hours into, and this one just didn't grab me as much at all. I don't think I've ever gone back to it.
And I think that is what you've just said there, Com. I think that is it for everyone, because it didn't hook me and Alan anywhere near. I mean, I spent so many hours on Worlds, and on Rise I also put a good shift in, but this one was significantly less of a shift than the other two. So there's something I think all of us are saying. It didn't grab us in the way that some of the older games did.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
I think it suffers from the Borderlands thing. It's end game content.
Yeah, they had the end game content was just about the artisan weapons, and it ended up being, like I say, it's probably changed now. But I'm talking about when me and Alan left it, so that was like June.
Before June, that's when the new DLC came out. I don't know, it might be in June actually.
May or June. I think one of the last things that we saw is when they introduced that hub area, didn't they? We were left not long after that.
Yeah, and we thought that should have been there from the beginning.
Well, of course it should.
Because that was a massive improvement.
Yeah, it was much easier because everything was all in one place.
Mm.
Yeah, it is a shame. It's one of those kind of like lost opportunities. It's a decent game, but it's not a great game. That's why it's at number 4 for me. Right, going on to our number 3 choices. Alan's gonna have a heart attack when he sees that. Bless him.
Jesus Christ! Oh, really?
I'll quickly talk about Borderlands 4 because we've already covered that. In quick, I pretty much agree with what Common Alan said. Only difference is I did put more time into it than they did. But in my defense, a lot of that was because I was doing the same content because I was playing in Pete's game. I was playing with Alan's game. I even enjoyed Com's game a little bit. And then I had to do all my own stuff as well because the goddamn shared world didn't save my progression other than quests. It didn't save any Mac markers.
What's a shared world? Says 2K.
They don't seem to know, and they did it, and that is the worst part of Borderlands 4. That and the status of how it ran at a launch. But yeah, so I ended up probably putting a lot more hours than I really wanted to do because I was repeating content. I ended up getting to level 50 way before anyone else, and I was only halfway through the game because I'd done the same stuff like 3 or 4 times in everyone's game. I mean, it's my fault. I'm the one who said, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that with you, and I'll do that with you." But I ended up putting an awful lot of hours into it. So I think I did like it more than probably the rest of you guys. A little bit. Thus, again, for me, is at number 3. But, it's a decent game, but it's not an amazing game. But for this year, it was one of the better ones for me. Right. Should we leave Com till last so Alan can have a heart attack? Alan, 2K25. Go on then, sell us it.
Well, there's nothing really to sell too much. This is it's a great. Well, not I won't say great. It's a good improvement on previous titles. It's certainly the game I've put more time into this year. And that's down to God. I'm going to kill myself for saying this.
Go on.
My faction has drawn me in. It's drawn me in. The FOMO I get from this is it's worrying.
Yes.
But the gameplay it is improved. It is improved. Is it janky? Yes, of course it is, because there's so much going on, so many elements going on, especially as you can see in the gameplay here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements going on. This is why there's a bit of jank in there. But you can bring creative characters in, like you could in previous years. You could change your tires on current superstars. The the addition of persona cards from my faction thing is which is why I play my faction, is to get the persona cards. So you get characters like...
It is FOMO, isn't it, Alan? What you're describing, though, is 100% FOMO.
Yeah, 100% FOMO. I'll put my hands up to that. It's 100% FOMO.
Without that mode, though, I mean, you've got it for free, but without that mode, when would you have stopped playing it?
I probably wouldn't have stopped playing it, but I probably wouldn't have played it as much.
All right.
I think, because I probably would have invested more time in Universe.
Well, I played it with you with GM mode, and we had fun with GM mode.
Yeah,
if I buy it next year, it will probably to play with you with GM mode. That's the truth. That is what my selling point would be. So me and you can have fun as we do with our competing, doing the GMs and the drafts and all that, and having a laugh at the booking the computer does, which is half the fun. So but I left after that. Really, there was not after me and you kind of played that mode a couple of times. I kind of left and I never really went back, so it didn't hook me. Com, did you even? I don't think you bought it, did you? I mean, do you even play these? I know you like them because me and you have spoken about Universe mode, but did you do anything with this year's game?
Nope, I did not touch this game, and I will continue not to touch this game with a 10-foot barge pole. I watch many creators. I'm part of their core universes. And the fact that there's still things where people are glitching through ropes and not getting eliminated in over the top battle royales because they're floating, so they've not been classed as being disqualified, where they've got stuck to ring posts and the body stretches across even though they're still attached to the ring post, making it basically impossible to actually finish a match. I've not touched this one. I'll wait for next year, and I'll probably start up a core universe mode myself next year.
Yeah, you should do it. You and Alan, 100%. I've said this both to you privately and by yourself, so you guys should You're both really into it. I mean, I'd join to a certain degree, but I'm probably not into it as much as you two. But there's certainly room for to like a universe mode and stuff. If anyone's interested, put it in the comments. Do you want to be a character? And we'll see. No promises, but we'll see. Right then, go on in, Com. Alan, don't interrupt him. Alan, Com's allowed his views. Com's allowed his views.
Go on then.
Right, go on.
Yes, Expedition 33, obviously the game that everyone's talking about, the game that swept all the awards, the game by Alan's favourite people, the French. Do you know what? honestly, I tried playing this game before and I couldn't get into it. I've started playing it again and I'm actually playing through it properly now. It is actually a very good game. It looks great. It actually plays okay. I'm still not a fan of all this parry system that they've put into it.
Yeah.
Because the time gaps for it are minuscule. If you get it wrong, you're getting hit because it's the window for it is so small. It's unbelievable.
Can't you play it on easy mode though? You can. I'm not saying you should, but if you hate that part the most, can you not just like put it on the easiest setting and just like, okay, I don't give me a bigger window here. I'm here for the story kind of thing. I guess you can do that.
Difficulty does not change the window.
Does it not?
No, it doesn't.
Wow.
The difficulty has no effect in the window.
Surprising.
So you got two options: you can parry or dodge. The dodge window is significantly bigger than the parry window. Even though it's the same kind of frames you're getting, for some reason it's so much bigger.
Right.
But I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. The story is okay. I'm not going to say this is a perfect game at all.
It seems a little out there. Like I say, I'll probably end up playing it. I could even be playing it as we speak because it's on my short list of games to play over Christmas. But the story looks, for me, it looks a little out there. That's the best way I can describe it. A little.
No, it is. It's definitely the story is definitely out there. Obviously, I'm not going to give the story away because people want to play it. But at some points of this, I have been left scratching my head a little about the storyline. But I can't really fault the thing that I'm there to do, and that's like to explore everywhere, and the combat system minus the parry, because it's a turn-based RPG. It's my thing. I like it, and obviously the skill trees and everything as well that you're unlocking. It's great. Just be aware for the trope of the Final Fantasy VII moment that comes at some point in the game. That's all I'll say.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, interesting. What I was going to say to you quickly, Com, on this is that when I say the story's out there, I think of Final Fantasy 13, of a story that's just out there with just like all these kind of buzzwords and nobody explained anything to you. Foul C, le C. I don't know if you remember this stuff, Com. It's like, what the hell are you? Can you speak English? What the hell of all these? You're throwing all these buzzwords at me, right? Of all this stuff that I'm just meant to understand, and that's what worries me. Like, is when I say it's a bit out there.
No, I mean, Alan, this game, it holds your hand for the majority of the first part until you get to like Act 3. Okay. This game will hold your hand, so it kind of like mansplains it to you, I think is probably the best term to use. And then after that, you're like, okay, what are you talking about now? Because that wasn't mentioned, and now it's just been thrown in. What's kind of going on here? I've got no idea. You just got to work it out for yourself.
Is there stuff like a lot of these games when they have these kind of stories, they throw like lore books and stuff? Do they throw these kind of things into the game where it's like you have to read up to actually get the gist of the story? You have to read all the lore books.
So obviously, in your Expedition 33, there are expeditions that have come before you.
Right.
One of the things is to get all of the lore and everything like that, you have to find the previous expeditions journals, and that fills a lot of gaps in.
Right.
But
32 of them then.
Well, we'll say minimum of 32. But there's so many of them, and it's so hard to miss. I think I've missed loads of them because they're tucked away somewhere and you can't quite see them because of how detailed they've made the environment that it just blends in.
I think it looks good. I think I'm definitely going to get around to it. I just don't know exactly when, but this time next year, I'll be shocked if I haven't finally gotten around to it. Let's put it that way. Alan, trying, if possible, bless you, to put aside the fact that it was made by French people. Bless you. Any thoughts on it, or is it just never want to touch it, don't want to talk about? Can we move on? Totally up to you.
You walk in water and you can't get wet. There you go. Game of the year, apparently.
I don't really ever come back to that. Can you get wet, Com?
Well, no, but it's because it's a fantasy, futuristic, postmodern, different plane of existence kind of thing. You know, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog when he's underwater. You know, he doesn't really get wet when he jumps out of the water, kind of thing. But yeah, I get where Alan's coming from. It's slightly confusing because you are underwater in one of the segments, like you've just seen, and then and you come out of it, but you're on land. Like the water is on the land, and it's like, okay. But it kind of explains why things are the way they are.
It reminds me a little bits of Final Fantasy X is like probably my second favorite RPG. And I remember Blitzball. I know Com hates Blitzball, but one of the things I did notice is that when they're all swimming underwater and they come out of the water, their clothes are all dry.
It's the magic of video games. They've got a off-screen dryer.
Yeah, a portable dryer, and also they also never run out of oxygen as well. They can swim underneath forever. They don't seem to need to breathe, which is also
well. They don't have to breathe in this one, and they can talk.
Okay, right. Right then. Okay, Alan. I can see Alan. Why Alan's a bit concerned about that then?
Yeah.
It explains it. It does explain why.
Well, at least they give it. They don't in Final Fantasy X. They don't even bloody mention it. Okay, on to number 2 then. Right, that's Alan's favorite game out of the way. On to some of the big boys. Right. Com has gone for Persona 3 Reload. Amazing. Alan's gone for Indiana Jones and the Big Circle Jerk. Sorry, my bad. Indiana Jones and what's it, Alan? The Circle of something?
Great Circle.
The Great Circle. There you go. And I've gone for Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, or the Evilist Chronicles, whatever it's called. Who wants to go first? Alan, do you want to go first with Indiana?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, it's always concerning when you get an IP, something like, Indiana Jones, because you're thinking, how they're going to, screw this one up. But no, this came from Bethesda of all people. You get this some beautiful graphics in this game. They're like really, really good. Indiana Jones himself looks good, sounds good. So it's based on obviously how Harrison looks back in, Raise of the Lost Ark time. Yep. And it's set about that kind of time as well, because obviously the Nazis are in full fledged. And you're after something called the Great Circle. Which I'd be confused, thinking, well, what the hell are you on about? And then when the big reveal at the end is, you think, oh, that's what it is. I'm not going to say in case, spoilers. But it had everything, it had all the hallmarks of an Indiana Jones film. So I will give credit to Bethesda for that.
Is it, Alan?
And the fact that it was on Game Pass was even better.
Yes,
was even better. I might have waited to get it had it not been on Game Pass.
Would you have paid full price for it?
Maybe, but it's because it was on Game Pass. It's hard to predict. I also want to say the DLC is not on Game Pass, and I'm not prepared to buy it.
Oh, you haven't got the DLC yet?
Nope. I won't get the DLC.
Or maybe Santa will have a look for you. We'll see. It looks to me like, Alan, you're probably, I'm not sure, but I think you're probably the biggest film fan here. And I do think I know that Com doesn't like Indiana. I don't mind a couple of the earlier films, but I can't say I'm a massive fan. I don't mind the first and the third for me. I don't mind them. Everything else I don't like, really. Because obviously you're such an Indiana Jones fan, because you're such a film buff, you're obviously going to get the most out of it. But gameplay wise, just as a video game, I know it's difficult, trying to take the fact it kind of plays like a film, it doesn't, to me, and obviously you might feel differently, it doesn't look like the gameplay itself is very good. Or at least for me.
It's got some flaws to it. I mean, it's all, as you can see, it's all first person. You're obviously using, you've got your gun, You can obviously use your whip, and a lot of it is obviously using your fists, and the sound effects are all great. But there is, I think, because it's a game, there is an over reliance on the whip, and that's purely because it's a game. And obviously, they need to change things up a little bit and not have him just run around just punching Nazis in the face and stuff. And
he doesn't use the whip much in the films, does he? I can think.
No, not at all. But because this is a game and it's more of like a platformer in a way.
So he uses it as a traversal. That's what it's made.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to use it as traversal, and obviously there's skill trees, and you can bump up the fact that you can whip out weapons from enemies' hands and stuff like that, or bring enemies into you, so you can obviously fight them close combat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Colm, let's go to you next. Persona 3. My feelings on this already. How much I love this. But go on, and not that you need to sell it to me, but sell it to the masses. Why is this so good?
Well, this is obviously the remake of Persona 3. If you like RPGs, then you need to go play this game. I don't care. Go play it. It was free on Game Pass. I don't think it is anymore.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone off of Game Pass now. This has such a... Not only is it a good game on itself. I mean, I need to go back to playing this on the channel because I started it and finished it since. The storyline, the stuff it goes into, the depths it goes into, it's not afraid to target the things that a lot of games shy away from. This game will talk about death and suicide and all this kind of stuff. But it looks visually, it looks amazing. I mean, JRPGs are known to be quite colourful and whatnot anyway, but I cannot find a fault with this game at all. If it weren't for a fact of another game, which you'll see later, why I've only bumped this at number 2. Yeah, I haven't even got the words to describe how good this game is. It takes a different spin onto RPGs. You defeat enemies and you collect personas from these enemies, and you confuse them to create more. There's a lot of stuff within this game that you just don't expect to see. Like you can see here, this is her trying to activate her persona.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of character development as well within the characters. Minus 1 or 2. But there's a lot of character development.
What shocked me about this game is that I never expected it. I think I said this on one of the earlier casts. I never expected it to cover a couple of the subjects that it covered, because it just doesn't look like it's going to. It covers 2 or 3. I think Colm knows exactly what I'm talking about. 2 or 3 quite heavy things that most games don't really want to go near. That they cover, I think, and they do a good job of covering it with dignity and respect for the most part. Yes, it's got the Japanese kind of culture thing that, like I make Pete, for example, can't stand it, but I love this stuff. I think Com does as well, so we're okay with it. But I don't know what else to say about it. Like for me, it's one of the most amazing games I've ever played. It's that high. It's that high for me. So everything you say, Com, I back up 100%. Alan, probably not your kind of game. Were you ever tempted? I mean, it's off Game Pass anyway, so it's not even there anymore. But I don't know if we can sell you on it, but it was an amazing game. But I'm not sure you ever played it.
No, I never played it. It looks interesting though, from what I can see, but I don't think it's my kind of thing. No, I can see the appeal.
It is the classic turn-based. It is, and I think maybe that's probably why me and Com like it, because it is a bit of a throwback to the old turn-based systems, which they seem to kind of be heading away from a little bit. Most games, right? And for me,
and I'll play it.
Yeah, for me, I've got Final Fantasy Tactics. Speaking of an old game, this really is an old game, because this game was a game that came out in the mid-90s. But never came out over in the UK. It went out to America. It mostly stayed in Japan. It was during a period of games where games, especially on like the PlayStation, just did not come across to other parts of the world. They stayed in Japan for the most part, and every now and again they would trickle over to America, but we wouldn't get them over here. So I knew about the Final Fantasy Tactics. I knew about the mid-90s, and it's taken me near on 30 years because I didn't want to. I could have emulated on PC, to be honest. I could have done that, but to actually play it on a proper console and anything like that, I had to wait 30 years for the game. So I was always going to like it, and maybe even the member berries and everything. Maybe I'm sugarcoating it a little bit in my mind because it's like, oh, after 30 years, I finally get to play it. But I can see that games have moved on from it. I can look at the game design and think, wow, if 15-year-old me played this game, I would be absolutely amazed. But unfortunately, middle-aged me has got to look at it and say, you can only have 5 characters in the battle. That seems a bit low. You can only have 5 characters. Why are these battle maps so small? These battle maps are so small. The story is quite linear. It's not a bad story at all, but it's very linear. There's no choices. You get no choices to do anything. There's very little side quests and stuff like that. So it is quite a small game. In hindsight to the kind of games you find nowadays. So that is the drawback, but the actual quality of the game, and there is nostalgia going on for me. I can't deny it. I can't deny it. There is nostalgia that is raising this game up probably from where it should be. Like, do I really think this is a better game than Borderlands 4? Probably not. But it's the nostalgia that has raised it to like, well, I've got to put it number 2. Because it brought back so many memories for me. I actually still haven't quite finished it. I'm right near the end. I'm like the last couple of missions, but I'm not far off the end. So that's it. I don't think Colm, I know you like your RPGs, but I think you said to me you don't really like the tactics RPGs. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, this is more based on like your XCOM kind of thing, where you control one person. Now, it's not really my thing. I prefer the whole, you're in a line. I'm going to choose what you do and then just fight instead of having to tactically think about where I'm positioning people. Although I do like Final Fantasy games, maybe it's something I do try and get into a little bit later on. But not.
Yeah, it's got all the tropes. It's got all the spells, as you can imagine. It's got all the same spells. There's Chocobo. So a lot of the enemies you will recognize from, because obviously this is obviously technically because it came out in the 90s. This was just after Final Fantasy 7, I think. This but like I say, we never got it over here. But this was right after Final Fantasy 7. So it technically it was in its Final Fantasy's prime. This game came out during Square Enix's prime. I think they might have still been called Squaresoft at the time. Now I think about it. Alan, I think you'll probably like this even less than Colm, because if you don't like turn-based, then I don't think there is XCOM elements to it, but of course it's completely different because it's not guns and it's mainly magic and swords and stuff. Any interest whatsoever, or do I just move on?
Yeah, move on. No, again, it looks great. It looks very nostalgic, but yeah, not for me.
Okay, right. Everybody's number 1. The best game we played in the year of 20 and 25. Let's have a look, shall we? Right. Alan's pick, I think the much different pick of us 3. Me and Colm may be a bit more predictable. I'll go first with this one because we've already kind of discussed it. Persona 3, everything Colm said, I 100% go with. And just to prove how much I love this game, I played this game more or less twice after each other. I played 3/4 of the game up till January, the first time I played this, which took me a couple of months anyway, because I'm slow. Realized I'd screwed up and couldn't unlock all the social links in 1 year. And because I've got a bit of OCD about me, shock horror, I know, I was like, gotta catch them all. I restarted the whole game, even though I was in the month of January and I was like probably like a couple of hours away from actually finishing off. I did not finish my first playthrough. I went right back to the start and done the whole thing again. I did skip the cutscenes I'd already seen, so it was slightly faster because I skipped all the cutscenes again because I'd already done them all. So I technically played this game a game in 3/4. I spent months and months on this game, so many hours because I played it. That's how good a game it was that I wanted to see and do everything. So an absolutely amazing game, one of the best games I've ever played. And I'll be honest with you, this massively eclipsed everything else. If I could put a gap, it would be this game, massive gap, then Final Fantasy, because it wasn't even close. Significantly the best game I played this year. destroyed everything else. Go on then, Com. We'll leave Alan to last because Alan's picks a little bit out there. Com, Persona 5. I've not played it. I'm probably going to play it this Christmas. It's going to be this or Expedition 33 or Black Myth, one of them.
Boo.
Go on then.
Yeah, Persona 5, obviously continuation of my JRPGs, because I've played 4, but I haven't put that on this list because I'm just waiting to see what the remake turns out to be. But yeah, Persona 5, again, one of your typical Persona games. This one blew Persona 3 out of the water, in my opinion.
Wow.
It is actually that good. You basically play as a child, young teenager again, like you do in all of them. But this one, the story starts very early, very early. You know, again, it's really hard to describe how good these games are because if you're not into JRPGs, obviously this is never going to pique your interest. But again, there is so much to do in this game, and the one thing I love about this game is the game physically tells you to take your time. Yes, there's still, like you can see in the top corner here, there is deadlines on certain things that you need to do. But whilst you're not doing them, the game literally tells you in like loading screens or whatever, take your time, slow down, enjoy the game, go out and do everything that you need to do. I have put, and this is probably, this is a guesstimate without going and have a look at my saves and stuff. I have put about 349 hours into this game. I have played it again and again and again and again because I just love it so much. I've played, I've tried to go different ways. There's multiple endings. I've tried to do everything one way to try and get the best. Try to try to get the worst. I've tried to beat the sub bosses, the secret bosses, collect everything. There is so much to do, and it gives you so much time to do it that it just feels like at times you're watching an anime instead of actually playing the game, but it works so well.
That was one of the few criticisms I could have had of Persona 3, and I haven't got hardly any, is that yes, they made it so tight to do everything in, like literally if you wasted more than like a couple of days, you couldn't do everything. So it sounds like to me that they're saying, okay, we're going to give you a bit more time to breathe. And I think that fixes that issue for me then. This to me, just like more the same. I mean, I think I'm guaranteed to probably fall in love with it as well, just like I did 3. So, I mean, I will definitely play it within the next couple of months, if not within the next couple of days, to be honest. Okay, Alan. This game's like 12 years old.
That's right, yeah. It's embarrassing, isn't it, for this year?
Well, it's not embarrassing. It's an indictment of the bad year that 2025 was. So
yeah,
you streamed this. Everyone who's watching, if you haven't seen it, go and watch Alan's stream of this. He streams the whole thing from. He does that. I think it's like 5 or 6 episodes, maybe a couple.
No, it's about 10, I think.
Is it that many?
About 9 or 10 episodes, I think.
And it's very fun to watch. Alan, bless him, does get killed. Alan gets frustrated. It's meant to be that way.
Yep, it is.
But he gets through it because that's the way it goes. That's trial and error is that game in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I played it on the hardest mode as well. Well, I didn't play on Nightmare mode, but I played it on the recommended, hard setting by the developers. And I had a lot of fun with this game. The atmosphere to this game is intense. It's so intense. The music that builds up when the danger is nearby, whether it's the alien itself or it's an android. The sound effects, you're walking through, you can hear things, you can hear the ship creaking, you can hear chains rattling, the vents go off every now and again. It just really it just chafes at your senses, this game. It really does. It's hard to explain sometimes.
You feel hunted, don't you?
But you do, yes. You have that sense of, fuck me, I'm about to get fucking murdered by this creature. It's after me. And on this setting, on the hard setting that they recommended for this game, the alien is relentless. That one mission where you had to work your way through the medical facility, the alien does not leave you alone.
No.
It took me so long to get through. I mean, once I finished the game, I actually started again, and I actually went through on easy just to get a comparison. And I went through that actual level, and I did not die once. The alien is nowhere near as aggressive. No way.
That's why they wanted you to play it on hard, because it's
Yeah.
just like.
And I'm happy I played it on hard.
Yeah.
Because that's the experience. And if anyone watching this has never played this game, play it, please. You have to play this game. It's one of the best survival horror games I've ever played.
And that's
if not the best one I've ever played.
Is it the fact that you are an Alien fan only helps, but even if you weren't an Alien fan, it's still a bloody really good horror game. I mean, Colm, you like your horror games probably more than any of us on the channel. So how did you feel about this?
I loved this game. I mean, I love horror games in general. There's only one game where I've even thought horror was a bit too much for me, and I enjoy them. I decided to play this game just like Alan, recommended, because that's what they say. I'm pretty much, I like to say, a master of horror games, because I, like Alan, master of horror games.
Yeah.
I made the mistake, though, of playing this with my headphones on at full volume, hearing every single creak, every single bump, everything. And
Great.
I kept looking around my room going, hold on a minute, is there something actually in my room? Taking my headphones off, because it sounds like, I know it's obviously it's just the game sounds, but it sounds so realistic. And he's right. That alien does not give you a second to breathe at all. And I did a bit more research after, obviously, I played it and stuff. And I love the fact that the developers gave the alien AI mind. So two of them, where one of them always knows where you are, which is terrifying to know. And then the other one is fighting it to make it so it's a bit fairer.
Yep.
But it's constant. The thing I love the most about it is it's constantly learning from your actions.
I think it was called, I think I saw something to you, like they've got like an AI director.
Yeah.
Is how I think they phrased it, didn't they? So there's a director, there's literally a director going on to balance the game out at all times, so that the alien, as Com said, is always on you, but you've always got a chance.
Yeah. But it's constantly learning. Like, if you keep going into lockers to hide, it will check those lockers more often. If you go under tables to hide, it will look under the tables more often. And it really gives you a sense of dread, like, no matter what I do here, it's going to find me.
Yeah. No, there's no arguments, mate. It's I think we all love that game. I think even though I'm not a massive horror game fan, I love the Alien film, especially the early ones. So I was all over this. And when I did play it all those years ago, I legit had it every time that I put it. I played it on PlayStation. Every time I was going to play it, I legit was scared to start playing it. I had to talk myself into it to play it. Every night, I remember I had to like muster up the courage to go play it, because I knew that I was going to have that feeling of dread and being hunted. So did I want to experience it? Because I knew exactly what I was going to feel. So I had to talk myself into it. I remember.
So this game came at the end of the Kinect cycle, didn't it?
Yes, round about then.
Yeah. My wife actually bought me this game.
When it first came out?
When it first came out, yeah. So obviously I tried it. I played like the first half hour of it. Yeah. And it's the thing is, if the Kinect is on, any sound that in your where you are in your room reflects into the game. So me and Pete are playing this, and to start with, and my wife's just coming home from work. She opens the door, slams it. Hey guys, how you doing? Next thing, the alien's on me straight away. I think, for fuck's sake.
Amazing game. I say, it's
the fact that he used the Kinect technology and used it well, because not many games did. This is why the Kinect ended up, folding in the end.
Yeah.
It's a detriment. Well, it's a not a detriment. It's a quite the opposite of how this game works.
Yeah, I think, and we don't know when the sequel's coming. We know that it's being made, and if they get anything like it, if they use the same AI with the same kind of director like Colm was talking about, and they improve a couple of little issues it's got, and it hasn't got that many. It's got a couple of little I think there's a little bit of a pacing issue. I think the game does lose something in the second half of the game. Are you with me on this, Alan?
Yeah, I can kind of see what you mean. But to me, in terms of what was created, I will paraphrase what Ash says: perfect organism.
And the thing is, as well, like there might be a pacing issue, but for a truly terrifying game, you want it to be slow. Because I've played games where you can just run through it. You know what I mean? And it's very quick, done. And it's like, no, I don't want that. I want something that makes me feel like I'm never getting out. You know, it's always there, no matter what I do. It's always going to be there, and I cannot escape it. And I think the pacing just does that perfectly. Even though it might be slow for some people, for a horror game, I think it does it perfectly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think for me, I think maybe it's an Alien bias. I really enjoyed the Alien stuff, and then I remember every time I was doing like an Android part, I was just like, I'd rather be getting chased by the alien. That's just maybe personal preference. That's been a problem in Alien games in general. So like, there's not enough enemy types. You've got the alien, which everyone loves, and then you've got the androids, and it's a little bit like, I don't really want to fight the androids that much.
Yeah, true. If you remember the Alien trilogy that came out on, I think it was the PS1.
Yeah,
it was the same thing. You had aliens, you had the Queen, I think, who's a big boss at the end of the game, and then obviously, you had the androids.
Yeah, and then you had like some of the games like Colm Marines, where it's like, I get to fight aliens, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of guys dropping down, and it's Call of Duty. It's like, I really don't want to be facing humans and androids. I just want to fight the aliens. It's a problem with that franchise in general, that there's the alien is the selling point, and everything else is just like they need to fill the game with other stuff in it. I think that's just a problem with the franchise more than anything else. Right, I guess that's it. I will put up very quickly the final list of just everyone's picks. If everyone needs a little bit of a refresher, I'll quickly go over them and then we'll head off. Right, so just as a refresher, Colm's top 5 was number 5, Borderlands 4, number 4, Hades 2, number 3, Alan's favourite game, Expedition 33, number 2, Persona 3 Reload, which I've spelt wrong. Nice one, Nick. And number 1, Persona 5. Alan's choices are number 5 is Borderlands 4. Number 4, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Number 3, WWE 2K25. Number 2, Indiana Jones. And number 1, The Great Alien Isolation. And for myself, Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster at number 5. Monster Hunter Wilds at number 4. Borderlands 4 at number 3. Final Fantasy Tactics at 2. And Persona 3 Reload at 1. Right, so that is our 3 choices for the top 5 games of 2025. I want to thank Alan, the Master of Horror. Say goodbye, Alan.
Ta-ta. Till next time.
And the always reliable and fantastic Colm. How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, see you later, guys. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. We hope you get some good games in your stockings or what have you. And even if you don't celebrate, like I say, there's still sales going on because it's Christmas for everyone else. So go get yourself a good deal. That's it from us. The next video will be out in a couple of days after this, after Christmas. So everyone, happy holidays. And we'll see you again in a couple of days. That's all for now.
Merry Christmas, you free of the animals.